Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Saturday. Good morning, America.
And good morning, America. How about that, New York?
Ooh, a nail biter, huh?
Man, no sleep during these playoffs
that last
whatsoever.
minute was something.
Insane. Great to have Rhiannon back at the desk with us. We do have a lot of news to get to this morning, including the heat in the Northeast as we keep an eye out for severe weather this weekend. Meteorologist Samara Theodore is back and standing by with the forecast.
She is. Also ahead here, the new details this morning in the stabbing death of actor James Handy, including the charges for his alleged killer, plus the Waymo that would not get out of the way. Take a look at this. Newly released body cam video showing a driverless taxi allegedly interfering with first responders racing to a massive and deadly explosion. We'll have that.
Yeah, wild video there, but we begin with that wild finish in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Woo, Victor Wembanyama misses a jumper in the final seconds as the Knicks hold on to take a 2-0 series lead in the finals. And just look at the state of shock. Oh, you got to feel it. Your heart just hurts for some of those fans. Wow, the last 9 seconds of the game there. ABC's Ike Ejiochi stayed up late for us last night, joins us with the highlights. Ike, you're just on adrenaline at this point.
Oh, that's all you need at times like this. Listen, if you stayed up for this one, first of all, good for you. Second of all, you earned it, okay? The New York Knicks are now 2 games away from basketball immortality. As for the Spurs, yeah, now they have to figure out a way to beat the Knicks 4 times over the next 6 games.
It's over!
Overnight in San Antonio, the Knicks squeaking out a win in the final seconds of Game 2 in the NBA Finals.
13 straight victories!
The crowd growing wild outside MSG, thousands of miles away, acting like they're courtside. Early on, it was the superstar struggle show.
You're just so out of rhythm right now.
Wembanyama, arguably the most gifted player on the planet, having a quiet first half, only scoring 7 points. The alien looking very human. And Jalen Brunson couldn't find his footing either. 7 for 24 on the night. That's why you have TV.
And slams it home.
Karl Anthony Towns putting the Knicks on his back. 21 points, 13 rebounds, and every big moment in the first half, Cat was right in the middle of it. And then there was Mikal Bridges.
Bridges red hot.
20 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 4 3-pointers, including a huge third quarter that gave the Knicks breathing room. By the time the fourth quarter started, the Knicks sat on a 14-point lead.
Largest lead of the game for the Knicks.
With San Antonio taking the lead with under a minute remaining, their eyes locked on a Game 2 win. Then, momentum changing on a dime.
Stolen by Brunson and knocked down by Wemby.
This Wemby turnover and foul, putting Jalen Brunson at the line to take a 1-point lead. Still, the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama found themselves with the ball, a chance at a win with the final shot.
To Wembanyama, pulls up, jumper.
And it's no good.
The Knicks survive.
I threw that one away. I messed up. We needed to win that game. This game was ours.
Square Garden and across the Big Apple, fans erupting. Even Spike Lee making an appearance. Karl Anthony Towns, who lost his mother to COVID in 2020, reflecting on the final moments.
As you go through life, if you lose a parent, anyone's listening, you just look for signs, and I'll take any sign I could get, and I prayed to her strong before that possession.
Gotta love that. Now the Knicks are just 2 wins away from their first NBA championship since 1973, and the series now comes home to New York, baby. Let's go.
ESPN said last night it's like they're on a magic carpet ride, and I think that seems like the perfect way to sum this up.
13
so
wins in a row in the playoffs.
More games to go, though.
More games to go.
Yeah, you got it.
They haven't won it all yet. Thank you so much, Ike.
Got it.
Oh, don't go anywhere because ESPN basketball analyst Chiney Ogwumike will join us in our next half hour looking at what the Spurs need to do to get in that win column.
Yeah, we love having her here. All right, thank you again, Ike. All right, now to the blast of summer heat in the Northeast. Temperatures well into the 90s. Meteorologist Samara Theodore is back from maternity leave and joins us now with the forecast. Samara, welcome back. It looks like you brought the heat.
I am the sunshine. Take a look. Good morning, Whit. Good morning, Gio. Good morning, Rhiannon. So take a look. This is New York. Sun is coming up, and it's getting to work, baby. Here's a look at what we're anticipating. 10 to 20 degrees above average throughout much of the Northeast. Philadelphia coming in at 92 degrees this afternoon, 91 in New York. Even pretty warm up in Boston at 86. when we have summertime and we see this kind of heat, this is going to energize the atmosphere and really increase our chance at seeing thunderstorms. So we're getting a double whammy. By 9 p.m. tonight, you can see the line of storms moving through New York, Reading, Pennsylvania, Philly, up to Boston, Providence, moving through overnight. Level 2 out of 5. So just be cautious because we could see some damaging wind, large hail, and lots of lightning. That's a look at the forecast. Whit, back to you.
All right, Samara, we'll check back with you in just a bit. To the economy now, President Trump touting a positive jobs report out on the same day the stock market had its worst performance since October. ABC's Olivia Rubin is in Washington with more. Olivia, good morning.
Wait, good morning. It's welcome news for President Trump, who declared it's raining jobs, but it also comes amid rising inflation and gas prices, all key issues for Trump in an election year.
Overnight, President Trump touting an economic win, a strong jobs report that showed extensive hiring.
These are the strongest job numbers of the entire administration so far, and that's during this conflict on top of it. So it's great.
The labor market adding 172,000 jobs in May, according to new government data, more than double what economists expected. The unemployment rate holding steady at 4.3%. The president highlighting those numbers to voters in Wisconsin just months before the midterms, where the economy is likely to be a top issue.
Your fertilizer's down, your energy's down, your oil, your gas is all coming way down. And frankly, I thought it would go much higher than it did.
But broadly, Americans say they're overwhelmingly down on Trump's economy, according to a poll, with 75% of adults saying the economy is poor or not so good. Just 30% approving of the president's handling. It comes as Americans are facing surging inflation, rising at the fastest pace in 3 years to 3.8%. And their paychecks just aren't keeping up, rising slower at 3.4% in the past year. And heading into the summer, Americans also facing about a 40% price increase at the pump due to the war in Iran.
I have to be very careful and very cautious on how and where I go throughout my day to make sure I'm not overusing my gas.
The average gallon of gas now $4.22, according to AAA, an increase of $1.26 per gallon since the war began.
And the stock market closing lower this week on news of that report, sparking concerns it could cause the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates. The Nasdaq dropping 4% for its worst day since last April. Rhiannon.
All right, Olivia, thank you for that. We turn now to the new allegations against a Maine candidate who is key to Democrats' hopes of regaining control of the Senate come November. ABC's Selena Wang joins us now from Bangor with more on this. Good morning, Selena.
Yeah, Rhiannon, good morning. And that's exactly right. Winning Maine is critical if Democrats want to retake the Senate. And Graham Plattner was supposed to be their best shot at beating Republican Susan Collins. But as the controversy around Graham Plattner continues to grow, Democrats here are divided. Overnight, the Democratic candidate in one of the year's most closely watched Senate races defending his candidacy against a firestorm of controversy. Graham Plattner, an oyster farmer and former Marine, is running to unseat Maine Republican Susan Collins.
When hurtful things I said on the internet a decade ago came out into the public, as I shared my personal journey through PTSD and darkness of recovery and accountability and growth, Maine had my back. Now, as every single piece of that past and journey gets dug up, litigated, and weaponized, you have my back.
The allegations against Plattner have piled on fast. First, a series of sexist Reddit posts, now deleted, then reports he exchanged sexual text messages with at least 6 women shortly after he was married in 2023. Plattner's wife, Amy, standing by him.
I want my marriage, and I want to be married to Graham.
The New York Times reporting several of Plattner's ex-girlfriends describe, quote, unsettling behavior. One reportedly claiming Plattner regularly grabbed her by the shoulders, sometimes hard enough to leave marks, and on one occasion yanked her out of a cab by her wrist. She says during one argument, Plattner twisted her arm behind her back, shoved her into a bedroom, and held the door closed from the other side so she couldn't get out. Plattner fiercely denies any violence. Democrats here in Maine divided.
I feel like His political mission is sincere, and that's what I'm voting for.
I will never vote for Graham Plattner.
So Graham Plattner is not the Democratic nominee yet. The primaries are on Tuesday, and Maine's Governor Janet Mills is still on the ballot. Now, she had suspended her campaign back in April, but as this scandal swirls around Plattner, she wants to make sure that Democrats here know they can still vote for her if they want to, Gio.
Lots of twists and turns in all of this. Selena Wang, thank you so much. New details now this morning in the stabbing death of actor James Handy. The suspect in the stabbing death has been charged with murder plus special circumstances. Authorities say Michael Gledhill, the son of Handy's girlfriend, is being held for psychiatric evaluation and did not appear in court on Friday for what would have been his initial court appearance. Handy's career spanned more than 4 decades with scores of credits, including roles in Top Gun Maverick, The Rocketeer, and Jumanji.
Gio, Karen Reed is heading back to court nearly a year after she was found not guilty of murder in the death of her boyfriend. She's now suing 2 Massachusetts police departments. ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky sat down with her and her attorneys.
This morning, Karen Reed is speaking out about the explosive new legal battle she's mounting nearly a year after she was acquitted of murder.
This has changed my life forever, and I can't, even if I wanted to, go back to my life before January 29th, 2022.
Your mission, as you describe it, is what, to address bad cops?
It's corruption. It's corruption among law enforcement, the cops, the government, the district attorneys.
Reed has filed civil lawsuits against 2 Massachusetts police departments and 2 officers she accuses of framing her for the killing of her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. The lawsuit includes vulgar, misogynistic, racist messages ascribed to the lead investigator in her case, former state trooper Michael Proctor.
Take your time. I saw was involved, so I wouldn't rush if you're working. Let them die.
That person in their core cannot logically, objectively investigate someone. This is the kind of human being he is. He is rotten and evil in his core.
A federal investigation into the handling of Reed's case ended with no charges, but her attorneys say they discovered messages the feds never saw. How many are there?
There are thousands, tens of thousands of messages.
Vile and vulgar like these?
Yes.
The Massachusetts State Police fired Proctor last year and said these racist, sexist, and abhorrent comments absolutely do not reflect the department's values. Proctor's attorney said Reed's new lawsuit is only meant to distract from her own conduct the night her boyfriend died. And there's people who think you got away with murder.
I have not met one of those people. I don't doubt that they exist.
When you're done carrying this mission, what's your future?
I'd like to just do normal things.
For now, Reed is living with her parents and working through these new lawsuits and others, including one for wrongful death by the family of John O'Keefe. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
Our thanks to Aaron Katersky for that. We turn now to renewed concerns this morning over self-driving cars after a newly released video appears to show a Waymo car blocking a road in the moments after a deadly explosion in Dallas last month. A deputy frantically trying to get the car out of the way. ABC's Morgan Norwood is here now with this shocking video. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning to you, Rhiannon. You know, it's a type of emergency scenario that very few first responders run into. Take a look, this new video showing a Dallas deputy desperately trying to move that driverless car as fire crews were racing to a deadly apartment explosion. And this morning, we're hearing from that deputy.
You gotta get out the way.
This morning, the dramatic new body camera video showing a Dallas deputy frantically trying to move a Waymo, which police say was blocking the road in the middle of an emergency.
There's nobody in here.
First responders on their way to that massive and deadly apartment gas explosion, which killed 3 people last week. Watch as Deputy Jonathan Banda tries to get the car to move forward.
Go forward, go.
But it doesn't budge. About a minute later, it connects to Waymo rider support.
Connected to rider support.
Yes, you need to move this car ASAP, please. There's a fire around the corner.
Banda offering to move the car himself.
If I can manually move it, I can move it.
And after 3 minutes, finally moving the Waymo and clearing the path for firefighters racing to the inferno.
The firefighters needed to come in and concentrate on just doing their job and taking care of the fire. They do not need to be out there worrying about traffic or people being on the roadway.
And with reports of people still trapped inside the burning building, every second mattered.
We knew people were still stuck inside, but everything was engulfed at that point. So we knew people had lost their lives already at that point.
Officials also releasing new footage showing that blaze as first responders clear out a nearby apartment building and bringing pets to safety.
There we go.
In a statement, Waymo telling ABC News safety is fundamental to everything we do, adding the vehicle was in the process of completing a 3-point turn to leave the area. And while the officer was engaging with our vehicle and our remote assistance team, the street remained clear and other vehicles passed by unimpeded.
Now, Waymo also says that it's trained tens of thousands of emergency personnel across the country, but Deputy Banda says that this was actually his first encounter with the driverless vehicle in an active emergency. And obviously concern as more of these vehicles are being deployed to more cities across the country.
Well, let's hope that they figure this out very soon.
Absolutely.
Okay, Morgan, thank you so much. Let's go to space now, to that brief scare for the astronauts aboard the International Space Station. They were told to take shelter because of an issue with leaks on the Russian side of the ISS. And ABC's Andrew Dymburt has been following all of this. Andrew, what are you seeing there?
Hey, good morning, Gio. So it's back to normal operations on board the International Space Station this morning after NASA and SpaceX astronauts were ordered to take shelter while their Russian counterparts attempted to repair an air leak in their section of the space station. NASA directed the crew, which includes 3 American astronauts, a French astronaut, and a Russian cosmonaut, to implement what's called the Safe Haven Protocol inside a docked SpaceX Dragon capsule. The order came after Russian cosmonauts aboard the station were beginning preparations for more extensive repairs inside a service module where cracks and small air leaks have been detected on and off since 2019. NASA says Russian engineers recently noted an increase, though, in the previous leak rate and identified new areas of concern. So the planned repair work would have included cutting into a bracket to access that possible leak source, a step NASA said carried elevated risk to the structure. But before the work began, Russian officials called off their repair plans, electing to study the problem more carefully, and then the all clear was given. NASA says it will continue working with Russian and international partners to monitor these leaks and determine a long-term fix.
Well, glad they eventually got it all sorted out. Yeah, still frightening, though. Thank you, Andrew. All right, now to the heated exchanges in court over the fate of President Trump's White House ballroom project. ABC's Alex Prochet joins us now with more. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. Yeah, this was an extraordinary hearing. At one point, a lawyer for the Trump administration making assertions so bold, there were audible gasps in the courtroom. The Department of Justice says President Trump's ballroom is necessary because of security concerns, pointing to the White House Correspondents' Dinner in an attempt to urge an appeals court panel to throw out a lower court's order that halted construction. Now, the DOJ says only Congress can block the project on the site of the now demolished East Wing of the White House, but they also say they don't need congressional approval. The National Trust for Historic Preservation is suing to stop the construction, even though it's well underway. President Trump was showing off the underground work to reporters, but one of the judges called the Trump administration's approach move fast and break things. That same judge posing the hypothetical if the government decided to move very quickly and bulldoze the Statue of Liberty, if the government moved too fast, nothing can be done. The DOJ lawyer responded yes, which sparked those gasps in the courtroom. Now, we'll have to wait for the 3-judge panel to issue a written ruling on whether the project might have to be halted. Rhiannon?
All right, we'll keep watching that. Alex Prochet, thank you.